The home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads. How's it going out there today, boys and girls in sporting land? Finally back in the saddle again on here. Took off another 3 or 4 days. As you know, I've been having some health issues and whatnot with me and my son. And, you know, the fact that I don't have insurance right now, that sort of makes things a little tough sometimes. But good news is I am getting some insurance January the 1st. Now, I don't normally involve these kind of things in my podcast, but I've been wrestling with a lot of things here lately that I thought I might share with y'all before I get into the topic of the day. And it's just basically, you know, my health, my son's health, and a lot of bad things going on right now in general as far as, you know, just personal stuff and whatnot. It's just had me wrestling with God a little bit, you know. I want to believe that there's a God in this world, you know, but there's so much pain and stuff that goes on, you know, from little kids dying and people dying in general. You know, you just don't understand it sometimes. You think to yourself, why does people have to die? You know, there's a God out there. Why does people have to die? Or why do people die in horrific ways? And why little kids die? And why are kids born with autism or any other kind of disability and that kind of thing? So you're always questioning things and looking at things. And it sort of terrifies you and scares you a little bit. It got me a little out of sorts because it just hit me. You know, just out of the blue. I don't know why. Sort of left field. This whole topic is left field. And I was just like, man, I want to believe that there's a God. I want to believe. I don't want to be an atheist or an agnostic or whatever they call it. I want to believe there was a God. I was raised up in Southern Baptist churches here in the South, of course. And I want to believe that there's a God. I really do. And it's just sometimes I have my doubts, you know, because you hear all these things about the universe and how these scientists put things out and try, you know, they tear down stuff that was said by the Bible. And, you know, you don't know whether the Bible's actually of God sometimes, whether there's a God out there that really has nothing to do with the Bible, or whether the Bible's accurate and maybe we're just taking things too literal with the Bible. But I just want to know and believe that when I die, that I don't just disappear. That I don't just cease to exist and that's it. Because that sort of sucks. That sort of sucks that, you know, your time on this earth is limited to usually between 70 and 80 years. And then you're gone and it's just like you just wasn't here. And within unless you're famous or something like that, within 70 or 80 years after your death, you'll be done forgotten by everybody. So if there's anybody out there that can help me with this and let me know why you believe that God is there, please hit me up on Jesse Paul Clark on Facebook, spelled J-S-S-E without the I. Hit me up on Facebook and Messenger and just give me some of your testimony, because I want to believe. I want to be a part of the faction of people that believe in God without any kind of real doubts. I want that doubt taken away. And I need you guys and gals help with that. And like I said, anybody that's listening to this channel that's pretty good and up on religion and whatnot, that have the testimony to maybe bring my faith back, please hit me up on Facebook. Now, we're going to talk about the Alabama fight song and the possibility of Cassandra Simon, the professor at the University of Alabama, trying to get the words Dixie removed from the fight song. So let's talk about it. Yep, back in the saddle again. It's another episode of the OCF. That's the Outlaw of College Football. Also on Facebook at Jesse Paul Clark. It's spelled J-S-S-E without the I. And on Twitter at OCF Productions. Now getting right into it. The topic of the day is Cassandra Simon. I'm going to throw some graphs up here in a little while. Basically wants to have the word Dixie removed from the Alabama fight song because she says it brings up or conjures up feelings of hate and racism and all sorts of things. Just general discourse and making people feel sad and bad. And it's just, it's so left field, man. I don't understand it. How does the word Dixie infer racism or Confederacy or any of that stuff? I don't even think the word Dixie was murmured back in the Civil War or pre-Civil War days. The word Dixie, if it was murmured and it's murmured today, refers to a geographical region. It has nothing to do with racism. She's just one of those people, once again, that if you're having a good time or things are going good and they're going too good or things are just too calm, they got to stir something up, man. They got to piss somebody off and try to rain on someone's parade because they just have a sad life and they want to blame their failures on silly shit. Just silliness. Just general silliness. And excuse my language. I'm going to try to cut back on the cuss words from now on too. I think I've offended a lot of people with some of my cussing and some of my little pictures that I put up of women. But back to the topic. So she says that the word Dixie is really insulting to her and that it conjures up feelings of racism and not being inclusive. I don't get the inclusive stuff. That has nothing to do with it. If you're so insulted by inflammatory racist words and songs, then why aren't you fighting against some of the rap songs that have the N-word in it and numerous other racial slurs and phrases that maybe pertain to F the police and maybe doing harm to white people because they're white, judging someone or attacking someone by the color of their skin is a form of racism. Why aren't you up in arms about that? Like back in the day, the group, the NWA, we know what the N stands for. Why aren't you mad about that? Why don't you make them go back and change their acronym to be the BWA, maybe Blacks with an Attitude? Why do they got to have the N word in there? And one of their songs is F the Police. That brings up and conjures up bad feelings for people that may be relatives or employed by police departments, people that are trying to keep you from being attacked or defending your right to freedom of speech in what you're doing now. Well, whether I disagree with it or not, but that's your right to freedom of speech to say that, and the policemen protect that. Why aren't you mad about something like that? Like I said, there's numerous songs out there, not just rap songs, there's pop songs, country songs, a bunch of songs, a lot of fight songs out there that have a lot more racist terms in them. All you're doing here is race baiting and trying to put yourself out there and basically stir up tension between people just to do it, which makes you a lame human being in my estimation. Makes you a person that really doesn't generally want anybody to be happy. You don't want things to move on. You want to keep stirring things up because you don't have anything else to blame anything on. So that's what you blame it on, even though it's not true. And she's on Rate My Professor. I went out and looked on the website, ratemyprofessor.com. And this is one of the sites that a lot of students use to rate professors after they've taken their class. And she's got a 3.3 out of 5. That's not good. And 45% only have said that they would take another class under her or retake a class with her. That's not good. That tells you, Cassandra, that you're not a very good person and that people don't really believe what you're saying, and all you do is spew hate and racism. That's you. Ironically, you're the one. And that makes you a very lame and cowardly human being. And I would suggest that everybody get on ratemyprofessor.com and go in here and rate this woman and give her the rating that you think is fair to her for her trying to stir up racial tensions. She's also got a Facebook. You can look her up on there and let her know how you feel about this. Because this stuff has got to stop in order for race relations to get better. It's people like her, and there's people on the flip side, white folks, that keep it stirred up too. Those are the people that we're going to have to shut down eventually. And I feel like the worms turn eventually. I think it's going to turn. And if she don't like the way things are done at the University of Alabama, and she's free to just, go somewhere else and get employed where they believe in what she believes in, because I don't really think deep down inside she believes it. I don't think even she believes what she's saying. I think it's just all a ploy to get attention because she's a lame human being and a very cowardly person. And that's all I got to say about that. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel if you don't mind. Also, there's a heart down here. Hit that. Throw a few dollars in the coffers. Help me out. Get me off the YouTube teat. Get me ahead on some things. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now dismissed.